You've been asking about Quest 3S facial interfaces. We've tried some of them, but today the company that makes the one I like the most has sent me a couple new ones of theirs based on custom 3D scans of my actual face. Let's check this out. Always with the small sharp unboxing knife. You know how we do it here. We keep things safe and handy. Now, if you don't know Oblik, you probably haven't hung out with the channel for long. Oblik, however they're pronouncing it. Unfortunately, they still are somewhat of a local company. They are expanding their operations to a new facility, bigger facility, and trying to take their product worldwide. But basically what they do is they have you on an iPhone use the 3D scanner and make an actual map of your own face so that they can design this custom to your face. Now, if you hear that and you think, oh, that sounds like that's probably not cheap, you're right. It's not super cheap. $90 is what one of these will cost you, although I believe code JayBratt still saves you a good chunk off of it. Although when you talk about like custom built for you, like orthotics for shoes and stuff, $90 for anything custom built to your body is extremely cheap in that world, and they keep refining the design. And one thing I really appreciate about them, they've taken care of anyone who's ever had an issue if they've broken theirs or anything. I did manage to smash the interface. They've just sent them a new one. Everyone I've talked to in my community who's dealt with them has been really happy with them. So we've got two new ones here for the 3S. A lot of advantages you get outside of the fact that it's obviously printed for your face. One is they'll print it based on your face shape and whether you wear glasses or not to get your eyes as close to the lenses as possible. That way you get the maximum field of view out of your headset, which is really cool because it means that you can really get your eyes in there, but it also means if you like push in, like if I push in right now, I can feel my eyelashes start to touch the lenses. Like they are as close as they can possibly be. This new design has a ton of vents. They're really going for a design here to give you lots of maximum ventilation, keep it from steaming up. Although I will say with that, I'm seeing a little bit of light bleed. It's kind of to be expected when I'm in here with these giant lights in my face. But for those of you who are looking for a fully isolating experience, you're probably not gonna get that. Although you're not gonna get it with the stock one, and especially not with this see-through one that I've also been using. Got a couple 3S's here so that we can try a couple different facial interfaces with a couple different head straps. Although as I've mentioned before, if you're using a head strap like this one, that puts the pressure up on your forehead and kind of moves the whole facial interface out away from your face, you don't have to worry as much with this kind of because the facial interface doesn't have all the pressure sucking in your face, where with one like this, there's no other point of contact in the front besides the facial interface that's pushing on your face. The reason I wanted to put this one on and test it right now is because I wanted to see with these new big vents here how much of this fan air I can feel blowing through. And I think this is still the old little fan. I don't even know where my new one is. Now they did send me a couple different colors this round. They sent me the typical JayBratt purple, which you can actually see is what I mostly use on my personal Quest 3, and it matches these Oblik grips. I like that a couple companies have done this now. They've given us something custom. That's really neat. I will take these away for testing, play around with them, see the new design. They're doing some new thicker padding they're trying out now on them. They've got obviously this new vent design that does feel light. Now the plastic itself is probably light, but the padding is thicker. It's gonna definitely add some weight. So overall you're looking at 74-ish grams versus 59 of a stock, 59 of the Meta one. So you are adding a little bit more weight to your headset, which is no surprise, although I'm curious, although I don't really wanna go through all the process of taking this pad off. I guess we'll just do it. I'm curious how much of that weight is in the padding, because you can also order the thinner padding. Yeah, a good 38 grams is in the 30, 36, 38, 30 something. So it's about half. My scale can't make up its mind today. Maybe it needs to be charged. But you're looking at about half and half for the padding versus the actual plastic of the facial interface. Of course, when it comes to a facial interface fitting your face, you're probably not gonna get much better than something that's custom designed for your face. And especially if you're using a strap like this, or if you're using the stock strap, it's gonna be the best because these suck into your face and you want the pressure balanced. I feel pressure here, I feel it up here. There isn't any hot spot where I feel too much of it, but also it's been custom designed around my nose shape so that my nose isn't touching it on any edge either. That does mean there is a little bit of light bleed around here, no surprise there. Boy, they make them fit really solidly though. I get a little scared when I take them off. But it's so custom that I'd usually do this test. You can like stick it to your face and it's gonna stay on. But the other half of that is one of the cons that I bring up with these. This padding that they use and they like is a little tacky, it's a little sticky. You can put a little talcum powder on there, but you'll have to keep reapplying that. It does make it feel really velvety and soft and nice. I've talked before about taking an extra step and sticking some pleather padding on mine just to try it out. I still never have done that. It wouldn't be hard though, because most of them have Velcro on the back, so you could just get double stick Velcro, put the other side on there, and then you could make your own. But again, you're paying 90 bucks. Do you really want to be dealing with buying extra padding, doing all that stuff? That's a question mark. I feel like they've really improved the design though. Like it's just looking much more slick. You can still tell it's 3D printed at a glance. You're not gonna question that. But if you're to look at these two here side by side, this was a more recent model of the Quest 3 one. And look at how much more sleek these are looking for the 3S. The vents look so much more intentional. They're so much bigger. You're getting so much more airflow. And then overall, just the amount of material, the way they look, I'm liking that. I also really like the blue, this new color they did here. One thing about the white padding though, I have white padding on my old one here. And if you can tell, I mean, you have to probably get pretty close up, but you gotta clean this thing every once in a while or you're gonna notice on the white padding, you're gonna notice all the lint and stuff, hair that you're now sticking to your face. And so that might kind of gross you out. It might push you to clean it more, or you might miss pleather because pleather doesn't really hold on to material or lint or dust. But so far I'm digging the new design. I like the rigidity on it. I feel like it even feels a bit stronger than the Quest 3 one, especially because you can see how thick this nose piece is here, how much 3D printing went into designing it all. It feels pretty solid. So with that, I'm gonna take this away for a couple days, give it a try, see how I like it with a strap that doesn't really need it, with a strap that does need it. What's it like in intense gaming and milder gaming? Do I still enjoy it after hours of use versus just playing around and feeling it? But I've been using the Oblik interfaces for a long time now, so I have a pretty decent idea how they're gonna work, but we'll still take them away for some testing. We'll get back at you soon. I'm glad we took some extra time to test out these new Oblik interfaces because I actually just got an email from them today. They wanted to let us know that they have expanded their shipping. So now they added Canada actually back in December, the UK just in February, and they're working to enable Germany, Netherlands, and Taiwan also to their roster. So as we said, they expanded their facility. Now they're expanding the shipping everywhere. So that means if you've been interested for a while, it is possible, and code JayBratt does save you $10, although international shipping is gonna cost you a little bit more. Let's talk about this latest iteration of interface. I feel like they're really perfecting it. They are landing in place nicely inside the headset. They really feel like they're hanging on to it. The tons of vents, although adding a little bit of light bleed, no issues with fogging. Even when I was testing with this new Elite strap, I love that when I was sweating, it really didn't want to fog up on me. With an Elite strap, you have that facial pressure, so having it perfectly balanced to your face is just the absolute best to me. It just feels perfect. The pressure is even, I mean, you can even have it on and take a hit to the face. But it's just so evenly distributed that it just doesn't bother you. It feels perfect. It feels almost like a helmet in a way. The different color options are great. Unfortunately, they still are not without the same cons as before. They do look 3D printed, although yes, they're looking better. They're making them nice. You're gonna be able to tell clearly they're 3D printed. This cushion here, unless you're really good about putting some talc powder on there or something, it is gonna feel a little sticky on your face if you don't like that. I've kind of come to appreciate it because it stays in place where I put it. I don't feel it moving around or wiggling around on me, but it's an issue. And then when you get sweaty and water gets in there, then it does get a little slippery. And it does tend to pick up some lint also because of that. So the same cons as before, and obviously the biggest con is the price, but you're just not really gonna get something custom made to your exact body for much of a lower price. And at least that code saves you a little bit of money too. So they are available for the Quest 3, now the Quest 3S, the Quest 2, different color options. They've been great with anyone who had any issues replacing it for freeform if they did have anything break. It's still my go-to facial interface. I do wanna try other 3S ones because I know you've all been asking for other recommendations, cheaper ones, universal ones. But for me personally, I've got one on each of my 3Ss and they're gonna stay on there from now on unless I'm in the middle of testing something else. But for those people who are wondering, what facial interfaces are you liking out there that you've tried? What can I test that you've already gotten? You say it's great for you. Help people out, let them know some recommendations in the comments down below. But once again, I wanna say thank you for coming out, being here with me for 5 years now, 100,000 of you. It's so amazing. Thank you, and I'll see you in another reality.